Good evening, ladies, gentlemen. That's another interesting pose I've got for my face. Right here. Gonna do for you. I love mess. If you care, I don't. Part of the people and all that kind of stuff. Today, an interesting bot. Well, I say interesting bots. I hope I only kind of get around to doing bots that I find interesting. Yeah, I think I will. So, let me see if I can get this right. From the Energon continuity or continuity. Pick one of those two. I'm not sure which one was correct. I like both. You've got he is a part farmer. He is a combiner, and he is a headmaster. So I think that's right. Yeah. So obviously I'm talking about Omega Supreme. Now there are three very distinct parts of him. And anyway, let me just give you the BG. And hello to everybody who says all nice things and stuff like that. So, bit of BG. This is Omega Supreme. Um, he is one of the guardians of Cybertron who serves under the command of Omega Central. I'm reading this off the screen, and is a powerful Autobot protector. He believes that unyielding resolve has no conqueror and will not hesitate to engage even the strongest foe. He is composed of Omega Train, Omega Battleship, and a small robot named Omega that transforms into a larger head for their combined robot mode. His two vehicular components also have the ability to transform into the mighty Omega Crusher and Omega Force Gun. Oh, I'm going to forget how to shoot that fucking thing. So, he's composed of kind of two parts and a head. And the two parts have an individual mode. They have two combined, and they have three combined modes. Oh, my brain is hurting. Let me try this again. I have to look at my face. Where am I? So, he's got two parts. He's got the Omega Train and the Omega Cruiser, right? And they have three alt modes combined. Right, yes they do. They have three alt modes combined. And all kinds of things. Let me just get through some stuff here. So, I'm going to start with a few things. So, presumably this is the bit called, let me see, what do you want to call them? Omega Train and Omega Battleship, right? So this is Omega Train. And it in itself is huge. I mean, it's a big thing. There's just loads to it, you know. You've got this, which presumably is some kind of cab, which pulls this rear section, which is indeed a crane type thing. Although it's not the most, you press this and then pull it back and it deploys this little thing like that. You know, it's cute. But again, it's just there. Today I got one of the Paracore combiners, and it's the little yellow one that looks like a drill. It looks like a tiny yellow version of the Cybertron Metroplex. Can't remember what it's called, Splurge or Flange or Guitar. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. Something like that. But I mean, this is just a big old thing, you know. And it's what my point was. I like Cybertron modes, Cybertronian modes, and this is a really definitive Cybertronian mode. If you've seen this driving down the streets of Derry, you'd be looking at it going, "They've landed. We are not alone, ladies and gentlemen." So I give you this, the Omega Train, crane. So it's Omega Train. So obviously this part, which is reminiscent of a train, is much more is much more relevant than this rear section, which is what he pulls. Now, again, it's just a big old thing. He's got three little weapons here. Can you see them? Yeah, they've got independent. All of them are independent, and they will swivel on that turret. And indeed, the actual gun turrets, the tiny little individual parts, are they like some odd little fingery thing? It reminds me of like a pantograph or something like that. He's a big old thing, and this will move, and this will move. It's odd. Odd, as mad as a piano this thing is. I'll come back to that in a second. But I want to show you the Omega Cruiser. Battle Cruiser, let me just get this right. I've got to get this right. I only learned this today. Omega Battleship, forgive me. It is a big blue thing, and it does look, for all intents and purposes, like a battleship. And especially like this little array at the back with the radar dish and the blah 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 yakety schmackety. And he's got these guns with nice little action here. You see what's going like that, like, and they actually will these little weapons will raise and lower as well, which is cute, you know, and whatever. Now he does have little sounds. I've missed the point of that entirely. There's a little like wheel here which will allow you to do that. And there are sounds, and this will light up. This section here will light up. The batteries, I think I'll have died or have taken them out and put them into something else. I can't remember. Normally, if I get batteries, normally if I get a new toy that doesn't have batteries, I will take the batteries out of something less relevant or less new and stick them in. So that's probably what's happened to him. So again, he's just a big old thing, and he's just long already. He's long. He's huge, and he looks like. Well, surely this is enough. Surely he doesn't need to combine to anything. He's going to get twice as long very shortly. But first, I must show you Omega. This is Omega, who is the Minicon headmaster for this whole gigantic bejuggle here. There's his back there. You can tell. Oh, yep. So he's got all this thing going on, and he's just a nice little thing. Yeah, you remember Omega Supreme from Generation 1. I happen to have an original Omega Supreme. It was reissued, but I didn't care about that kind of thing. I wanted the original one with the playware, and when I got him, his motor wasn't working, so I did have the converter's Omegatron, so I took who he's remolded. He's not remolded, he's just recolored. I took his motor out, and I put it into Omega Supreme. I was very pleased with myself, actually. So this little bad boy here, who is Omega, from the Energon Continuity. You see, first of all, we'll make him have a little sit down. And you can put him in here, in all kinds of ways. He'll sit there and he'll have a nice old time to himself. There he is on his robotic throne, having a crap. You can put him in there. He doesn't really like to stand up, especially well, but you can put him in there if you like. I'm sure we can convince him a little bit to stay in. Now, if that wasn't enough, and God knows it is for me. I don't ask for much. I don't ask for much. No. Oh my God. Oh, is it really going to happen? Oh my. And it clicks so nicely. Let's just hear that again. Metaphorical and literal sex, ladies and gentlemen. So we went from the one to the oh many. If it wasn't so sexy, it would be stupid. But look at this. Oh my God, look at this thing. Oh, it's like Gandalf's staff. Jesus, look at it. It's lovely. This is the combined mode of the Omega Battleship and the Omega Train. And I don't know, but I just call it plastic sex. I mean, look, it's about half the size of me, and that's just everything. It's got wheels and bits that move, and he's huge. And oh God, thank you, Hasbro. Thank you so much. As if that wasn't enough, and it's already enough. Excuse me, I'm going to have to take some cherry aid because I just need a moment after that. I feel like I should have a cigarette, ladies and gentlemen. So, as if it wasn't enough. And surely it isn't enough. Now, he does have another mode. Let me see. I actually going to do something that I never really do. I'm going to stop for a brief moment and come back ever so shortly. Okay. Yes, so I just had to go and remind myself Omega Force Gun because I thought both components formed the Omega Force Gun, but only one does. This is what forms the Omega Force Gun. And it is, whatever. It's a big fucking gun, so. But hey, as long as it transforms, I'm interested. This little thing here, you just kind of do. I'm not sure really what you do. It doesn't really matter if you do anything at this stage with that. So I'll do that, and I don't really care if that's not what it is. But the important thing is that this happens. That's going to come to there. Nope, that stays exactly where it is, I think. This bad boy, you turn 180. We just kind of do that, and it becomes this, that you can kind of see. I mean, it's obviously, it's as much gun shaped as it is anything else, and you can take, for example, I want to take, because I'll be using this guy shortly, the ugliest Prime there is, but one of the most playable. I have to say. He's ugly, but he's playable. So you can man this big old weapon here, and I'm sure when his batteries were in and he made his sounds and stuff, it looked pretty good. Omega Force weapon. So there you go. There was that anyway. Now the other thing, the most interesting thing to do with this is this tournament to Omega Supreme, which is actually quite easy, much easier than I thought it would be. Oh God, I just love that song. Love that song. And again, you see, he's almost there here. Where are we going? Exactly where it's front and where it's not. You see this little little big yellow panel and look like that. These bad boys lock together quite nicely. Oh yes, they do. Oh God, really chunky and nice. Let's put all these out of the way. That's going to come up like that and form his other foot. You see how close he is to a big old butt. Now here's an interesting little thing. Now I spoke about Omega as headmaster, but he also has an ittle bitty tiny little head of his own, which you just do by pulling that up. Look at that tiny. Isn't that cute? He's as cute as all get out there. Tiny little head. He can hardly see out past his tits, really, So that far. Now let's just get to the good bit, which is little Omega here. So in order to transform him, yes, you knew it, he was headmaster. So you take him to there. These things stand up like that. These things, antenna, whatever. Last but not least, and he does resemble Generation 1 Omega Supreme. And then he goes there onto the head like that. And there, look, just look at it. There isn't anything not to like, and I'm so pleased to be doing this guy again. Look at the size of him. Jesus, he's a big old buck. Now, all around him, he's got these kind of big things here like that. Now, the reason he's got these is because you can, and I'll wait for a moment to do that, you can attach, you can also, the combiner element is you can combine Energon or make Optimus Prime with him. So, I'm going to go from that very quickly, because I don't want this video to get too long, because I generally don't tend to watch very long videos, so I wouldn't expect anybody to watch this video that's very long. So I'm putting this thing under the way like that. Now you take Fatimus Prime here, and you just get rid of all his appendages. And God help him, he's as ugly as all get out. He really is. He's an ugly Prime, but he's very playable. Of course, you've got the basic Prime like this, then you've got the power-up method, and then you've got his trailer and the drones. There's plenty going on, but the actual boy himself, he's a bit ugly. Open up this door at the back, which is likely to fall off. He's got the door, Prime with the door. Why not? Now, how does he go in exactly? I'm not 100% sure. First of all, we have to give him his big heads. You know the way you can give that Prime the big head like that. Oh, little thing that sits over. It looks like he's about to have a electroshock. Electroshock, excuse me. A lot of thirsty work when you're talking as much as I am here. Let's see, how do we get him in? I think we have to do something with this. I'm pretty sure this has to come to that position. No, I'm not pretty sure. I'm trying my best. Just get his legs out of the way. If I get him in any other way, I don't really care. He's going in, somewhat. Take this other part, and again, he's got this door at the back. It's going to open up like that, which allows you to stick Prime in there. Because that's where he's got to go. So just go in there, Prime, and stop giving me any right. Let's skip. No, I'm not doing it right. I'm not doing it right. Bits are falling off him. 1 second. I think I can be a bit more economic with an arse end of Prime here. What do I do? Do I do that? Is that what you want me to do? Yeah, I probably have to do that. I probably have to do that. Okay, I'm going for this. I think this is probably a safe bet. A little bit fell off in there, but you see, that's why. That's much better. That's a little neater. Now get in there, Optimus, and stop your nonsense. Very well, ladies and gentlemen. Now you see, it's got to go in here now. Do I have to put this thing to the outside? Maybe I do. Put that in there now. Right, it's definitely going in. I've got it. You see, things are falling left, right, and centre. But I don't care. Ah, yes, I forgot. This bit has to come out. That bit has to come out. That. Now we've gone from all of a sudden he's got like 10 tons of cable. What shall we call it? A jetpack? I think we'll get away from that. Now his head has obviously shrunk quite considerably, but he still works. You can take these. This is the thing. These are Optimus's drones. The drones of Optimi, and you see, you open up these ports here, and then you can stick these bad boys in there. Look at it. And I've got another one here. And exactly, what benefit this is going to afford him, I'm not entirely sure. But they'll go on nonetheless. I really want to put one there. I want to put one there to see how silly it looks. Goes on like that. Goes on like that. Right. And that goes like that, does it? Ah, I see. Okay, it's got to go like that, so that then we can conceivably make an additional foot out of it. Does that look so good there? I'm not convinced that it does, But like a lot of things in Energon, there were so many wonderful ideas compromised to try and make a really interesting whole, but the whole wasn't really successful, and neither were the individuals. So it's a continuity of compromises, but I do like Energon. It's still so much better than the movie toys for me, and it always will be, I'm sure. But there you go. I hope this wasn't hideously long. Um, Omega Supreme with Optimus Prime from Energon. Nothing not to like. He's big. He's huge. He's got so much playability. There are literally hours of fun with this guy, Yeah, nice big butt. Back to Jerry. Good ball.